When Nigeria was still finding its way after independence, a name rose in every household, Muka foam. It was not just a mattress. It was a symbol of comfort, of pride, of good living. When a man worked hard and saved money, he would say, "Before we continue, click the subscribe button and like button. One day, I will buy Muka, so that my children will sleep like kings." And when a woman married, her family would gift her a Muka mattress, saying, "This is the bed that will carry your home." For decades, Muka foam stood tall. Its mattresses lasted for years, passed from one sibling to another. Children jumped on them, lovers rested on them, old men prayed on them. People said, "If it is not Muka, it is not comfort." But nothing lasts forever. At first, it started with whispers. In the small markets of Aba, women selling provisions began to complain. "My new Muka mattress is already sinking after 6 months," one said, shaking her head. "Ah, my own is even worse," another replied. "When I lie down, it feels like I am sleeping on the ground." Word spread quickly. What once was praise now turned into doubt. People began to ask, what happened to Muka? Has greed eaten them? Some blamed the company for cutting corners, choosing profit over quality. Others believed counterfeiters had filled the streets with fake foams, spoiling the brand's good name. In Lagos, dealers who once lined up to stock the foam began to change sides. They now whispered to customers, "Try this new brand, it lasts longer." Muka is not what it used to be. In Kano, a father who bought a Muka mattress for his daughter's wedding returned bitter and angry when it sagged within a year. "I trusted Muka, but they have shamed me in front of my in-laws," he said, his voice breaking. In Port Harcourt, a school hostel replaced its beds, only to watch them collapse within a term. Students laughed, saying, "Muka na scam." The once untouchable giant was bleeding. Behind the fall were stories untold. There were factory workers who cried in silence as machines were changed to cheaper ones. There were managers who begged, "Let us keep the quality," but their voices were ignored. There were greedy men in suits who only saw numbers, not the tears of customers. Soon, smaller competitors rose like hungry lions. They brought fresh promises, authentic comfort. Better than Muka. And people listened. In homes across Nigeria, one painful question lingered. Can Muka rise again, or has the trust of the people been lost forever? The boardrooms of Muka foam were filled with silence. The men in fine suits who once smiled with pride now argued with bitterness. Sales had dropped. Trust had been broken. Chief Okafor, one of the oldest directors, slammed his hand on the table. "When we were building this brand, we used quality, honesty, and trust. But you chose greed. You sold fake comfort to our people." Some managers bowed their heads. Others defended themselves. "Sir, the market is tough, we had to cut costs. People only care about price." But outside those glass walls, Nigerians were not silent. In Ibadan, a group of women who had been loyal to Muka for years gathered at the marketplace. Mama Funk, a strong woman with fire in her eyes, raised her voice. "We trusted them. Our children grew up on Muka. But they betrayed us. Let us take our money elsewhere. Let them feel our pain." The crowd clapped and shouted. And so, the people turned their backs on Muka. For a long time, the company sank deeper. Competitors grew. Families no longer mentioned Muka in their wedding lists. The proud name became a shadow, a joke, a warning. But from the ashes, something began to stir. A young man named Chinedu, grandson of the original founder, returned from abroad. He had heard the stories, felt the shame, and seen the tears of loyal customers. Standing before the tired workers at the factory, he said with determination, "I will not let the name of my grandfather die. We will not let greed bury us. From today, Muka will return to quality. We will win back the hearts of the people." The workers, who had lost hope, lifted their heads again. Chinedu went to the markets himself. He listened to mothers. He listened to fathers. He touched the sagging mattresses and apologized with his own lips. He said, "We wronged you. But give us one more chance. This time, we will not fail." Some people mocked him. "Empty words. We don't believe you." But others saw the fire in his eyes. Slowly, with tears and sweat, the factory changed. The old machines were brought back. The strong foams of yesterday were rebuilt. Chinedu refused shortcuts. And one day, the new Muka mattress was released. At first, Nigerians were cautious. But when Mama Funk bought one and saw it last, she shouted in the market, "Ha! This is the Muka I remember. They have come back." Word spread again, but this time with hope. Dealers returned. Competitors grew worried. And families once again began to whisper with pride, "If it is not Muka, it is not comfort." Ending the fall of Muka foam had been caused by greed and betrayal, but its rise came through truth, humility, and courage. The brand that once fell had risen again, stronger, wiser, and closer to the hearts of the people. And so, in Nigeria's history of business and family life, Muka foam became not just a mattress, but a story of redemption,